Shalom, and welcome to Light of the Hill Ministry. I'm Yochanan, and today's teaching will be on the questions Yeshua asked. In the descriptions below, you can follow along with me and read the teaching. I will give you a couple seconds to pull it out, and the reason I do this is so that you can easily follow along and print them out at your leisure by copying and pasting it. I hope this teaching blesses you as you walk as Yeshua walked. Now, Yahushua asked about 300 questions. Asking questions was central to Yeshua's life and teaching. In fact, for every question Yahushua answered, he asked 100 more. Yeshua was the master questioner, and we should be as well. What I would like to do in this series is share his questions, and as I do, please answer them as if it were directed towards you. These questions are in chronological order and will be a part of a series entitled Questions Yeshua Asks. Now, the very first question that Messiah asked was in Luke 2, as it says this, Luke 2:49. And he said to them, "Why were you seeking me? Did you not know that I had to be in the matters of my Father?" This very first question of Yahushua as a child, when his earthly parents were seeking him, is still as valid today as it was then. Why are we seeking him? Do we not know that he's about the Father, the matters of the Father? If we're going to seek Yahushua, we must understand that he wants us to be about his Father's matters as he was. And it's never about our matters, but Yahweh's. If we do seek Yahushua, we must seek first the kingdom of Elohim. Matthew 6:33, "But seek first the kingdom of Elohim and his righteousness, and all these matters shall be added unto you." This seeking of the Father's kingdom leads us to Yahushua, and he gives us the matters that are added, and that is his righteous covering. This is why this question was and is so important. His parents should have searched deep into their hearts, and asked, "Are we about the Father's matters?" A question we should all ask ourselves and seek Yahweh in all these matters, letting him add to what he wants us to do. What does it mean to seek first the kingdom of Elohim? It means putting Messiah and the things that matter to him first in our lives. Every day, we're faced with choices and opportunity to put our time and energy into temporal things that have no lasting spiritual value, or to invest in things that are related to the kingdom of Yahweh. We're putting way too much of our time and energy toward things that, in the end, won't matter in the least. So the question we have to ask in all of this is, what mattered to Yahweh? Thankfully, the scriptures tell us plainly what mattered to him the most, and that is, "Hear, O Israel, Yahweh or Elohim, Yahweh is one. And you shall love Yahweh, your Elohim, with all your heart, with all your being, and with all your might. And these words which I'm commanding you today shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children, and speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorpost of your house, and on your gates." Deuteronomy 4:6, 4-9. How do we know this to be true? Because even Messiah himself says so in Mark 12, verses 28 through 34. And one of the scribes coming near, hearing him reasoning together, knowing that he had answered them well, he asked him, excuse me, which is the first command of all? Yahushua answered him, the first of all command is Hear, O Israel, Yahweh or Elohim, Yahweh is one. And you shall love Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your mind, with all your strength. This is the first command. And the second like it is this: you shall love your neighbor as you love yourself. There is no other command greater than these. And the scribe said to him, Well said, teacher, you have spoken the truth, for there is one Elohim, and there is no other besides him. And to love him with all your heart, and with all your understanding, and with all your being, and with all your strength, and to love one's neighbor as oneself, is more than all burnt offerings and offerings. And when Yeshua saw that he answered wisely, he said to him, You are not far from the kingdom of Elohim. And after that, no one was bold enough to question him. He wasn't far from the kingdom of Elohim. Why is that? Because he was seeking the kingdom. Yahushua was always about his Father's matters, loving him and loving his neighbor as he loved himself. And if we're truly the masters, then so shall we seek the things that matter to him. And that is his Father's ways and his Father's words to guide us and lead us to where his kingdom is. This leads us back to the question, why are we seeking him? Answer this question and you're on your way to knowing him. Why? Because to know him is to love him, and to love him is to do his will. And to do his will is to do what his word says. And when you do his word, he considers you family, as Luke 8 says. And answering, said to them, My mother and my brothers are those who are hearing the word of Elohim and doing it. Luke 8:21. The irony is that Yeshua said, I must be about my Father's matters. He was talking to his biological mother and adopted father, Joseph. You see, the question was for them as well as for the audience listening into the conversation. Were they seeking Yahweh? Are we seeking him? Why? Deep questions to be sure, but one that needs to be answered if we're going to move on with our walk with the Master. I will leave you with that for now, and let you prayerfully seek the answer to this question. If you find this a blessing, please be sure to bless others with this teaching by sharing and subscribing to the channel. May Yahweh's love, compassion, and shalom be to your homes.